Hello and welcome to this episode of Viewpoints. This is where Dominion DMS and myself, Sharon Kitzman, President of Dominion DMS, interview our amazing partners. And today we have Michelle Hutchinson, who is Director of Strategic Accounts for Ship Your Car Now.
That's right.
That's right. So welcome, Michelle.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'm thrilled to have you here. I'm thrilled to do this in person instead of both of us being on Zoom, but Ship Your Car Now has an office here in Boca Raton, so it made sense. I trust as we just closed out Q1 that you had a good Q1 at Ship Your Car Now.
We did. We had a great Q1. We are growing exponentially right now. We are very fortunate to be adding to our vertical markets, as well as benefiting from our existing clients and their success. So we're excited about that. We have expanded our team. We have included some more executive level management to really help with that growth, as well as our back office, our operations team. So yeah, we've had a great first quarter. I can't complain. It's been wonderful.
Excellent. It's great to have another automotive-based company here in Boca Raton. So for those of our dealers who may not be familiar with Ship Your Car Now, maybe tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Absolutely. I am Michelle Hutchinson, and I've been doing transportation and logistics now for just about 20 years. Started at United Road with our EVP, John Robertson, started their pre-owned division and grew it into a 100-person call center. So it was great. And then just really developed a passion for this industry. So from there, just have helped other companies develop and start their own transportation and logistics group. I came on board with Ship Your Car Now. It's been about 2.5 years. And I was really excited because of the difference between a standard transportation company and what Ship Your Car Now is doing as a technology company. So that's my background.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, I recently, I guess it was in January, moved from Park City, Utah to Boca Raton, and I shipped my car. And it's not the first time I've shipped a car, but boy, it's a little harrowing, right? You take your baby and you give it to essentially a stranger.
Yeah.
And they put it on a truck and you don't hear from that stranger for 3 days.
Yes.
Right?
While they're driving cross country, hoping that they're not hitting any inclement weather or any issues. Yeah, I know.
Right.
It's really important to make sure that the consumer is comfortable when they hand over their pride and joy they've worked hard for.
That's right. So you mentioned a traditional logistics company, which I think is what I use in that situation, versus a technology company. So give us a little bit of a thumbnail sketch of why a technology company is different in the logistics business.
It's a great question. What we did is we started out as a standard logistics company. We started over 12 years ago working in the consumer market, private owners like yourself. Our president and CEO, Gavin Keston, actually started the company because he shipped a car and had a bad experience and said, I want to do it better. Okay, so that
I can appreciate that.
Yes. So in doing it better, we developed a piece of technology that would provide better customer service out there. And what we've done since then is we've elevated that technology into a completely seamless integration and expanded upon it for companies like yourself. What we do that's also different is that we have an entire group of individuals that support the entire process. So when you may not have heard from your driver for 3 days, we have a team that sits not only here, but remotely, that is always following up with the drivers, making sure the customer knows how to get in touch with us. And we handle everything because we know that it can be challenging to try and get a hold of a driver. We do it every day.
Right. Well, they're driving a semi down the freeway. They probably are not or should not be on their phone.
Correct.
So,
Correct. Yes. And nowadays with GPS, we have the ability to track that driver. So that any question you might have, we do have customers that do call almost every day to find out where their car is, just to give them peace of mind.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, that would have certainly solved for a big challenge that I had. along the way.
Sets you at ease, right?
Set me at ease, exactly. So as a DMS provider, our goal, one of our goals, is to not only provide a great DMS to our dealer clients, but to also partner with amazing partners and vendors like yourselves. If you had a piece of advice that you could give a DMS provider on how to partner with you better, what would that be?
The best advice I could give would be to embrace that integration and partnership, and then to be able to show the dealership the value that's added when you have that element, that component within the DMS system itself. Taking the logistics off of their plate, allowing them to just sell cars, and then allowing us to manage that process. That would be my biggest piece, is embrace it. Technology is good.
I think technology, like anything, is a bit of an 80-20 rule, right? I say like anything, but maybe it's the piece of fitness equipment that's sitting in the corner of your bedroom, right? You can use it 100% of the time, but very few people do. Right. So keeping them top of mind. Yes. About the different partners that they have available to them and how that process can fulfill.
Sometimes I think with the dealerships is when they bring on a piece of technology like you offer, right? And it's very robust. They do tend to not necessarily understand or utilize everything within it, right? It's just, there's all these cheat codes, I guess you could say, to the younger generation. There's all these cheat codes within that system that you can unlock. Mm-hmm. So that it makes you not only your process easier, Mr. Dealer or Miss Dealer, but also it gives value add to your customers.
Right.
And it also helps you analyze your bottom line.
Right. All right. Well, we'll strive to communicate the cheat codes as frequently as possible. Michelle, we are in what I call an ever-evolving industry, right? Yeah. It could be the recession of 2009, 10. It could be the pandemic, the chip shortage, the good days that dealers have had. Labor shortages, a vendor partner last week told me about, well, the chip shortage is now going to create a lack of certified pre-owned vehicles as well. If you and your team start thinking about how to continuously support dealers in this ever-evolving industry, and maybe take advantage of your solution to offset a bit of a downturn, or further take advantage of it to promote an upturn. What are the types of things you talk about, and what are the types of things you tell dealers?
Great question. One of the things that I really communicate, and so does our team, is that, with the Ship Your Car Now, with the sync product, it really is a robust enough system to provide that dealer with analytics to drill down into their bottom line. One of the things that we're seeing and what we're reading is that we are about to come back from pre-pandemic times with sales. We're starting to read that things are going well, things are looking up, but with that comes the expectation of the consumer of the pandemic way of doing business. There's this whole turn and the dynamic of the customer not going into necessarily the brick and mortar. They are doing a lot more digital retail, more online. I always talk too about the generations coming up behind, and they have to, some dealers out there, they're not thinking about the generations. I know I personally have kids in that demographic that they don't want to go sit in a dealership. They're doing everything online. They're buying everything online. They're having stuff shipped to them online. And that's really where I'm seeing, and what we're talking about seeing this going. We have been able to take advantage of the pandemic in the sense of that people had to switch their mindset. They had to say, what are we going to do? Where am I going to go? And with that came the ability for us to take the technology we already have, lift it to another level, and be able to provide that to dealers. So the customer expectation is where we start to fit in, where we say, hey, we're here, we're ready to do this. On the downside of the dealer side of it, what we want to do is become a true partner with the dealership. And that means we want to understand their business. We want to understand their bottom line. We want to help them better manage costs that are actually associated with the vehicle acquisition and getting those vehicles to the front line quicker so that they can be sold, right? Yeah. That all equates to dollars for the dealership. So in doing that, we have moved forward in developing a very robust reporting system that is going to provide more of a consulting approach to help them maximize their profits.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, good for you. So if a dealer watching this podcast who is not a Ship Your Car Now current client would want to become one and take advantage of the solution that you just so eloquently described, how would they go about contacting you and getting in touch with your business?
You can definitely reach out to myself. If you're not already using a DMS system, please reach out to the DMS group. As we said, we're going to be in there, but obviously if you are just a dealership looking to find assistance with your logistics, definitely you can get a hold of me. You can reach me either via phone or email. My email is michelleH@shipyourcarnow.com. And that's probably the best way. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, well, in this ever-evolving landscape, and as I have mentioned a couple of times in my podcasts, we have a new office here in Boca Raton, and we have our conference rooms. This is the first time I've been doing a podcast in one of our conference rooms. I normally do it in my office. And I almost always ask our vendor partners as we kind of conclude our podcasts about their favorite vehicle, because as you can see, we have named our conference rooms after a couple of muscle cars. We are sitting in the Camaro room currently. We have a couple others to name as well. But Michelle, in this industry, do you have a favorite car? Do you have a car that brings a memory to you from your childhood? Anything that you'd like to disclose about yourself?
Absolutely. I want to say though that I love to see all the muscle cars you have around here, and it actually is, as a Gen Xer, it kind of breaks my heart to hear how they're pushing the muscle cars out. And I understand environmentally those things have to happen, but the muscle car, if you grew up, the sound, the feel, the smell, it brings back such amazing memories. The rumble, that's what it was, the rumble when you would start it. I would have to say that one of my all-time favorites is the 67 GTO. Yeah,
that's a good one. It's a good one. I had a little tear when Mustang went EV and it didn't look like a muscle car anymore. I mean, I get it. They probably did a lot of research for it and you probably made the right decision, but I was like, that's not a Mustang. So
yeah. Well, when we're long gone, nobody's gonna remember what muscle cars were, and it'll be just in movies, right?
Let's hope we're not long gone too soon. Anyway. Well, thank you so much, Michelle Hutchinson, excuse me, from Ship Your Car Now. And for our dealers out there who are watching this podcast, our two businesses are tightly integrated, and you can get workflow efficiencies through that integration by using Dominion DMS. So take a look at Ship Your Car Now and reach out to Michelle, as she indicated earlier, and we can get you started on that process.
Wonderful. Sharon, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.